been thicker than a dog? My name is Bernadette from the Originals group in Jones County, and today my presentation is The Healthy Canine is the Happy Canine, the importance of annual checkups for your canine friend. The importance. So why is it so gosh darn important for our dogs to get annual checkups? Well, quite frankly, our dogs are just like humans, just like us, for the same reasons that we get annual checkups, just for, hence the name, checkups. And then they're also to prevent unwanted illnesses, as well as to ensure your dog's health for a longer, healthier life. This is why it's crucial to not only the pet to have annual checkups, but also to the owner. One reason would be zoonosis. Zoonosis are the communicable diseases and parasites that can be passed between the dog and the human. You could also risk the infestation of fleas and ticks, as well as preventative medicine is so much more efficient than treatment, meaning trying to cure the illness afterwards. So if you do go into an annual checkup, this is what you can kind of expect. Your veterinarian will carry out a physical examination, meaning an oral examination looking at the mouth, teeth, gums, etc. He will also look into the ears for any foreign objects, redness, or inflammation. He will also look at the eyes for any conjunctivitis, and then also feel around the skin for any bumps or dry patches. The body weight is also very crucial that the veterinarian will look at to see if your dog is either overweight or underweight. You will then go through a series of vaccinations and parasite control, as well as possible discussion on behavior, daily care, sociability, and spaying and neutering. Going on to core and non-core vaccinations. These are two separate categories. Core, meaning these are the necessary and mandatory vaccinations for every dog to receive. The non-core vaccinations, however, are upon the veterinarian's discretion depending on the dog's surrounding environment. So as you go into the checkup and your veterinarian says, I'm going to give your dog so-and-so vaccination, they'll give you a list of all of these crazy names that you see up here. And so I'll tell you a little bit about them. So canine parvovirus. Canine parvovirus may create damage to the heart of young puppies, as well as it attacks the lining of the intestinal tract. The canine hepatitis affects the liver and also possible loss of vision. Going on to the canine distemper. The canine distemper is not necessarily does my dog have mood issues or a temper issue, but it's merely it affects the brain and the spinal cord and also the lungs. Going on to the parrot influenza, hence the name influenza. It's similar to what humans get for the flu. It is a respiratory virus that causes coughing. And then going on to rabies, which we all kind of know about rabies, that attacks the central nervous system. So as you can see, these core vaccinations are very important for all of our dogs to receive. Going on to the non-core vaccinations, these would include a vaccination called Bordetella or kennel cough. Not necessarily if your dog goes into a kennel and begins to cough, but this is a respiratory system virus that is contracted when in confined spaces, such as a boarding facility or a grooming facility. So if you're planning on going for a vacation and you're going to board your dog, it's probably important to receive this. Going on to the Lyme's disease. The Lyme's disease will affect the heart, joints, kidneys, and then the central nervous system. And this is carried by the deer tick. And then lastly, leptospirosis causes liver and kidney damage. So it's very important for these vaccinations to be received. Going on to parasites. If you remember me talking about zoonosis, which are the communicable diseases between the dog and the human, this is what's interesting. So the worms or parasites that affect the canines, these would include heartworms, whipworms, roundworms, and hookworms. Now for the real kicker, the worms are the parasites that can affect humans. These would include roundworms and hookworms. Starting off with the roundworm, they have a very interesting life cycle, and I have a picture right here on the left. So the roundworm can be only ingested into the body orally, meaning putting your hands in or around your mouth infected dog. Therefore, the eggs will be ingested into the body through the mouth and will go then down into the intestines. They will then hatch and go into a migrating stage. They will then migrate up through the liver, through the lungs, and then be often popped up into a mucus form to be once again swallowed. But, unfortunately, sometimes this process isn't that smooth. They will migrate up through the liver, through the lungs, and then maybe get lost and then create damage to the head area, meaning the eyes or the brain. Hookworms, however, they can be just like hookworms ingested into the body orally, but they can also be ingested into the body through the absorption of the skin. So this is probably one of my favorite parts. The results of zoonosis. So as you can see, on the left we have a picture of an infected foot. Now like I said, the hookworm can be absorbed into the skin, and this person may have been walking around barefoot and then not have washed right away. So you can see the infected area. And then on the right we have the roundworm in the eye, which like I said, may not go too smoothly with the migration stage and may get lost, creating damage to either the head or to the brain or the eyes. And so here you can kind of see a faint line with the roundworm. So we're over that, you can. Okay, spaying and neutering. Spaying and neutering has a lot of health benefits for your dog, other than just preventing the pregnancy. This is to prevent diseases and some cancer types, such as ovarian cancer, uterine cancer, or prostate cancer, and those are just 3 examples. Spaying or neutering at least will decrease the aggression and hyperactivity in dogs. And then even though it's wonderful to have cute little cuddly puppies, but once they grow up, it's going to be very difficult to find loving and good homes for every one of those. So preventing the unwanted pregnancies may be a good thing. Fleas and ticks. Now we all know about these pesky little insects, the fleas and ticks, but here's just kind of an overview. The flea is also known as the home wrecker, meaning if you find one flea in your home or on your dog, you can kind of safe to assume that there may be not only hundreds of others, but thousands of other fleas, providing one flea can lay up to 2,000 eggs. And then, as we all know, they are a blood-sucking insect and will create host homes on either your dog or yourself or throughout your home. Fleas also have an interesting life cycle. They will go from the egg to the larvae stage, to the pupa stage, and then to finally the adult stage. Moving on to the tick, their primary staple is to carry diseases. If you remember me saying that the deer tick carries the Lyme's disease, they carry diseases. And then what's also very astounding about ticks is that they're not only 900 ticks, but they're almost everywhere, with 900 species of ticks. And then very similar to the flea, they are a blood-sucking for dogs and for humans as well. So here's just an example or some pictures of the fleas and ticks. On the left we have the flea, and then on the right we have a picture of the tick, more specifically the American dog tick, which is most commonly found in Iowa. Now, daily care and hygiene. I broke these up into 2 separate categories. Daily, meaning, well, we need to practice this every day with our dogs, and hygiene, which are the ones that we need to regularly practice with our dogs, just over a segmented period of time. So, with the daily, we need to practice safety with our dogs, meaning if we're going to go out for a walk with them, we need to either use a leash or check the surrounding environment to make sure that there's no harm going to our dogs. Also, looking at the quality and the quantity of the food that we're feeding our dogs. The quality, meaning the health things that your dog may have. They might have any specific needs that the food can provide, meaning either soft food or harder pebbles. So the quality of it also depends. And then also the quantity, like I said before, with the body weight is also very significant, depending on if you're overfeeding or not feeding your dog enough. And then going along with the feeding comes the exercise. When we go out for the brisk morning walk, maybe we can leash up our dogs because they need the exercise just as much as we do. So it's very important in their health. And then most obviously, the loving and time that goes throughout their day, we should give a little bit to our dogs as well. Going on to the hygiene, like I said, these need to be practiced regularly, just over a certain period of time. Keeping our dogs well groomed and well bathed so they feel and look clean, as well as keeping their nails clipped, and then also keeping good oral health, brushing their teeth every so often if needed, or going in for the annual checkups to see if they needed dental. And then also having the proper training and obedience. Having a well-obedient dog in all environments is spot on awesome. So to review, I know this is a lot of information kind of coming up at once, so thumbs up to you guys for sticking with me. So here's just a review over the whole thing. Just remember, checkups are good. Checkups and preventative medicine is so much more efficient than treatment or trying to cure the illness. Remember that zoonosis, the communicable diseases that can be passed between your dog and the owner. So pretty much whatever affects your dog may just affect you. And then also just remember that your dog's health is almost just as important as yours. So the next time that you make up your next physical appointment, maybe think that your dog might need one too, so make one for it too. And here are my sources. I also have handouts for you today. Here's one for you. There we go. Let's see. And do we have any questions? Yes, I do. Yes, I have one dog.
Very healthy dog?
Yep, the question was if I have a very healthy dog, and that is also a yes.
So, you take the dog regularly to checkups, check the teeth, do everything,
Yep, the question was, am I practicing what I am telling you today? And I do practice that, what I am telling you today. I do take my dog in for annual checkups, as well as, I think she might be due for a dental, because I was looking at her teeth a couple of days ago, and yeah, she might need one.
So, do you do that as a doctor? Who does the dental?
The question was, who does the dental? And the veterinarian will do that. So any questions that you have today, a lot of them you can ask your veterinarian too. It's probably better to ask him than me, so, because